Where the hell have you lot been? It's been months. I haven't seen you guys for ages. Where have you been? Where have I been? I mean, I've been, well, yeah, I've been away for just a little bit, just a month or two, but it's good to see you. I'm back and better than ever. I tell you what, we've got a few things to go over today. This is a little short. Oh, okay, forget it. I don't do short. This is a video about what's happened, what we're going to do, or at least the next few months it's going to look like here on the channel. So let's kick things off with where I've been over the last few months. If you've tuned into the channel a lot, you'll know that at the start of March until pretty much a few weeks ago, we've been over in America, in the mighty US of A, and we've been traveling around all the states. I'll give you guys a bit of a brief sort of overlay of the things and places we did and saw. But if you want to see more, let me know in the comment section if you want to see a little bit of a more in depth of our trip to America. Of course, we started things off as most places people do when they go to America, going to what some people love and some people hate, the state of California. While we were there, we spent some time in San Francisco and of course in Los Angeles. Now while we're in America, you may have noticed we went to a number of sporting events, things like seeing the Anaheim Ducks. We've of course seen the Lakers and the Clippers while we were in California, as well as the Angels, the one you saw just before. But there was a great time here. Of course, theme parks are there, there's sporting events there, and of course there was something else going on while we're there, called a little thing of WrestleMania. Raw, SmackDown, Mania for 2 days. SoFi Stadium was electric. California really is one of those places where there is so much to see and do if you've not been there before. I know some people hate California and they hate Los Angeles, but boy, it really was great to see teams like the Lakers and of course the Clippers, PG, players like LeBron, all there out on display. But of course that's not the only place we went to. We spent a number 2-3 weeks in those cities, but we moved on from there and went to probably one of the best places in the US of A, especially if you're a Pacers fan like me. Possibly has to be one of the highlights of the trip, seeing the Indiana Pacers, and not only that, being shouted out from them on social media, all of their platforms, for making the travel across to see my team play was just amazing. Seeing players like Halliburton, Mathurin, the rookie, should have been Rookie of the Year, but we'll move on from that. All these superstars, Miles Turner, and what's just great about that was the hospitality of the team blew the rest away. I'm talking, of course, Lakers, Clippers, Timberwolves, who we saw as well. We'll get to them in a moment, as well as the Pacers. We've seen so many NBA, NHL, MLB games. NFL wasn't on, sadly, when we were there, but Pacers blew away the hospitality by far. The boys suck this year, but next year we're coming. Good free agency so far. Now, of course, if you're in California, it's almost criminal if you don't go to Vegas, another spot we saw and traveled around. Going in to see places like the Grand Canyon, Arches National Park, and all the other national parks around that area was amazing. But again, Vegas, boy, they say you can't beat it. And I tell you what, having been there now, you really can't. That place is phenomenal. After finishing up with our time on the West Coast, we moved more central. After spending some time in Indiana, we moved on to Minnesota, where we spent some time with my greatest of friends, one you've already probably seen once or twice here on the channel, or at least heard, in Minnesota, where the Timberwolves are. Of course, we had to see the Timberwolves play, and what a time it was to see that team in action right in the play-in/playoffs time, when we saw them go from losing to the Lakers after sneaking in to those play-in spots, but then of course bringing it back to make it to the first round of the playoffs, where they ultimately went down to the eventual champions. Now, of course, this is not all that Minnesota is known for. They've got a pretty good football team as well, but we spent some time there seeing the Twins play, and of course they've got great things like the Mall of America, one of the biggest malls in the world. If you love shopping, that's the place to go. But more than anything, they've got a bit of snow. Yeah. Lots of snow and some great little rural areas to see as well. Minnesota definitely was a fun place to go and hang out with some friends. Wrapping up our time in Central America, we moved on to the East Coast. Wow, what a part of America that is. If you go to USA, you don't go to the East Coast, the New Yorks, the Bostons, and cities like that. You're missing out. You really are missing out. We spent some time in New York. I tell you what, New York is one hell of a place. Madison Square Garden, anyone? What an arena. That place, it just is out of this world. Such history, such grandeur. That is an amazing stadium. If you get a chance to go there, by all means, do it. You can do a tour, you can go to an event, doesn't matter. Just go there. If you love sport, you'll love MSG, the Garden. There is so much to do in the city of New York, but after spending some time there, we embarked on another tour group which saw us go through inland of New York, Philadelphia, places like Washington, D.C., before heading up through to the amazing Niagara Falls and through a couple of cities in Canada. Wow, Canada. Whew, another outstanding place. People say it's a lot like New Zealand here, but I find Canada really does set the mark for being a beautiful, beautiful country. Our time in Canada included some days in Niagara, but of course in Toronto as well, moving through to Quebec, as well as some time in Montreal and Ottawa. It's an amazing place. It really is beautiful, beautiful country. But after that, we moved our way back from Canada into America. A couple of border changes. I tell you what, the USA, although it's an easier country to get into, they just like being very aggressive and dominant. So we spoke a little bit about playoffs and playing at NBA. We moved from Canada down to America and spent a couple of days in Boston. Now, when we were in Toronto, the Maple Leafs were playing their playoffs games, and they were reaching record depths in the playoffs. Unfortunately, when we were there, they were playing away, much like these guys. The Celtics, also in the NBA playoffs, were playing away in the couple of days that we were there. They still won, and they made it a lot further than what we were at there. So they made, I'm pretty sure, the conference finals or conference semi-finals. Who cares? We weren't there anymore by that stage. We moved on, but Boston, wow. Okay, if you're in a city that has bad drivers, double check yourself with Boston, because they probably get the big tick as being the worst I've seen, and that's after going to New York, which I thought was about as bad as it gets. So our time in America was coming to a close at this point. We moved from Boston back down to New York and made our way on the super long flight back to New Zealand and Auckland, Christchurch, and wow. What a letdown. What an amazing trip it was though, seeing that countryside over 3 or so months. It was such a fun time, seeing all these teams, seeing all these places, and seeing what the USA had to offer. But now we're back. I've had a little bit of time in between to sort of think about what we're going to do next, so let's talk about some plans as to what will be coming up on the channel. Of course, as you know, some things are finished, some things are starting this weekend, and some things are out in the distance there, glowing in gold for later on in 2023. I tell you what, I really thought I'd get through all these shirts in this video if I swapped them every few sentences, but we've still got like, I don't know how many, 4, 5 or 6 to go, and I'm nearing the end of the things I was going to say, but let's have a look at what's coming up on the channel in the future. Now, a number of things have changed from when we got back to now, and one of those, and the only real one, is that of time. I'm going to have a fair bit more of it, and for that, things should be going wild. See what I did there? You gotta love that. So things are going to be a bit crazy because there's going to be a lot more time to do stuff, which means something I've really wanted to do for years. A lot more of than the fleeting ones I've done already, and that is streaming. I want to bring more streams to the channel here on YouTube or on Twitch or whatever platform. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to go with just yet. If you've got thoughts, leave it in the comment section as always. But we're going to be bringing it back. We're going to be streaming. What are we going to be streaming? I don't know. A bit of rugby probably. A bit of talking crap because we do that already. Other games, other sports, what will we be doing? Let me know what you want to see, because if we're doing it a lot more, will be a lot more different things to be done. Something like a Be A Pro series could be cool to kick us off, but of course there's so much other stuff going on that we can chop and change and get a bit of variety into our diet of streaming. But the real deal, and it's probably what a lot of you come here to see along with the rugby gaming, but the real life rugby. Yeah, we're going to get back into talking about that. We're going to get back into predicting crap. We're going to get back into talking garbage, because that's what we do here on the channel. Super Rugby's done. Yep. Did I watch much of it? Nah. Saw about 3 rounds before I left and about the last 2 of playoffs, obviously the semis and the finals when I got back. So, Super Rugby, wipe it away, because this weekend we've got the Rugby Championship coming back, and of course the Pacific Nations Cup is kicking off soon as well, and don't forget about that distant glow of the Rugby World Cup. That's what this year is all about. We're going to be talking about it, we're going to be playing it, and we're going to be doing everything else we can think about, predicting, talking, writing, and just getting involved in the rugby this year. And of course, we're not quite done there, almost wrapping this one up. New series coming, like I promised before I went away on holiday. The sub-series is coming back. If you don't know what that is, check out the channel very soon. We're having a sign-up video. Simply put, you can get involved. You can be in the series. You guys are the players. You take on not only each other, but the world elite clubs. We have 4 of our own clubs at the moment, maybe 5, maybe 6, maybe 7, maybe only 3, depending how many people want to get involved. But we bring those clubs to life, we put you in your teams, and we take each other on. That's what it's all about, to become the Global Rugby Challenge champions. That's what the series is all about. You can get involved too. Just check out the sign up video. They'll be coming your way very soon, and you can name your player, of course, as you like. Skills, stats, specialities, all that sort of stuff. That is what the series brings to life. That is about all I have super planned for now. We've got real life rugby stuff as well, but if you've got other ideas of other sports, other games, other things you'd like to see in the way of series or one-off videos, do let me know what you think would be cool to bring to the channel, and we can make that happen. I'm sick of changing shirts, so I'm going to wrap it up there. Did I get through them all? I think I missed at least a couple or 3 in there, but it was great fun being back now here on the channel, getting back into the action and getting back into some videos. Thank you all for sticking around, of course, through the time when I was away. It was a great holiday. If you want to see some videos, I did a lot of recording there, around places we went to and stuff like that. If you'd like to see something like that, a bit more in-depth of what we did, let me know in the comments section, and we can bring that out as a wee mini-series alongside the usual content as well. But until we get back underway, thank you all for sticking around, thank you all for subscribing and keeping up with the channel, and I'll see you all very soon with some new content on the channel. Until then though, thanks for watching, and as always, take care.